bureaucratic barriers. You're the mayor of LA. You're the ones who created the bureaucratic barriers. Just get rid of them, like President Trump is doing in Washington. But they don't know how to do that because they want the bureaucratic barriers there. That's what gives them a sense of importance. They don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if you're stepping over needles. They don't care if you're getting robbed on the sidewalk while trying to eat a sandwich. They don't care. All they care about is their own power. That's Karen Bass for you. Go Spencer Pratt. We want it to be a Pratt summer, I think is the saying now. We shall see. That's going to do it for us. Stinchfield's Army Rolls. Don't forget my podcast tomorrow, 12 Eastern Time, noon that is. We'll see you then. Stinchfield's Army Rolls. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Your TV sounds funny in the evening. You're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
You can come to me, Aaron. It's because I'm talking to Slick. Doesn't mean you can't put it on. So, yeah. 8 o'clock live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night, not November, Damon. May 20th. Glad you're in. Slick's here. He's doing sports. Delgado's got main headlines for a little bit, and then he's leaving us. And then Paul Nolan will be here the whole night. He's going to do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always.
I'll be here the whole night if you play your cards right.
All right. Very good. Very good. I always have an ace up my sleeve. Last night when we left here.
There we go.
What do you mean, here we go? What do you mean, here we go? The New York Knicks.
You're going to get the first bird pretty shortly. Watch.
The Knicks were down 22 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And Slick was feeling good because he hates the Knicks and he hates Delgado, so he wants to...
I hate Delgado. Now you're starting a fight.
Okay, maybe I'm sorry.
By the way, you can leave early tonight.
He was dancing.
I'm sorry, that was a little too strong there.
Yeah, that was you coming.
He hates the Knicks.
Yes.
He was doing a little spin.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, oh.
He was doing spins. He had the margaritas broken out. Game one loser for the Knicks. Oh, man, I'm feeling good. No parade for them.
I hate
the whole deal. And I woke up to... Now, here's... At some point, the percentage was that the New York Jets had a better chance to win the Super Bowl coming up this year than the Knicks did of coming back and winning the game. And we all know the Jets have zero chance to win anything.
No, they have 1%. They had it right.
Well, no, they have no chance to even win a game this year, probably your team. It's going to stink so bad.
In fact, they're mathematically eliminated as we speak.
Yeah, they're already out of the playoffs already.
No. They're winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. And I wake up this morning and the Knicks win in overtime by, I think, 8.
I can't believe you missed that. You didn't even watch.
I can't believe you missed that, too.
I can't believe that.
I mean, when I left, I was like, I wasn't going to rush to put it on. They were down 22.
Well, the funny thing is, I left, got back to my place, put it on, and I'm like, oh, they're getting hammered. I can't watch this. So I turned it off, and then that's when the comeback started. So I'm like, I'm the problem. I'm so superstitious. I was the problem. I turned it off. I'm like, oh. And then as I'm laying there, I'm watching something else, but I see my phone start lighting up. And I kind of glance over. I'm like, oh, Knicks send it to overtime. I'm like, I'm not turning it on now because then I'll screw up the game.
So Slick's right hand is all black and blue tonight because he was smashing the table as the Knicks were coming back. And
true story.
So Slick, how you feeling tonight about this series, which is now over? Whoever I bet with, by the way. I hope you enjoy your MyPillow products, whatever ones you're going to buy.
Oh, yeah. What was it? I forgot her name, right? The girl. We'll look her up.
Because this series is over. If you can't win that game, you're getting swept. It's 4-0 and out. You've lost your heart and soul are gone.
You said that. They lost their soul.
There's no way they're going to beat them now.
Although I got to tell you, they have bounced back a number of games against Detroit that they really got destroyed. Different team, I agree. No, the Knicks, they were a little rusty coming out of the gate, which a lot of folks thought. They had a long layoff there, but man, oh man, their defense is just really exceptional. And the way they they must have outscored them like 34-3.
44-7.
44-11.
And that's an example of what we talked about last week, the rust versus rest. Right? And you saw the rust, and then the rest kicked in. You can see the fresh legs kick in the fourth quarter.
So, Howard's the rest of your day?
Well, good day today. Good day.
All right, very good. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I'm good.
I know you're good.
I'm
your
great
team won.
now.
So.
I mean, man, oh man. Between that, I got one kid graduating college. I got another kid I'm going to go see play some bets. I'm having a great day, Damon.
All right, very good. Hopefully we can continue with that here for the hour and 20 minutes that you're going to be here.
Yeah.
Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I'm well. Had a fun day today with KDJ and that guy Gino. We had some J6ers on. It was been great J6 news. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but it looks like these J6ers who got railroaded in the gulag are going to get compensated. So we'll see what happens.
Good for them.
All right. You can give me my prompter here, Fran. We will start a Wednesday night at 4 minutes past the hour with tonight's first word. Well, folks, tonight's first word, I'm going to tell you something straight from the heartland of what we call common sense. And that is, the science has spoken, and it is not what the climate alarmists, the drive-by media, and the United Nations bureaucrats wanted to hear. That's right. For decades, these chicken littles have been running around screaming that the sky is falling, the polar bears are drowning, we're all going to freeze, and unless we give up our cars, our steaks, our air conditioning, and our freedom, the planet's going to cook us all like a well-done ribeye by about next Tuesday for the 19th time. They've built their entire doomsday religion on the back of something called RCP 8.5, this wild-eyed worst-case fantasy scenario from the UN's IPCC that assumed we'd all be burning coal like it was going out of style, population exploding, technology frozen in the Stone Age, and emissions shooting through the roof. They trotted this puppy out as business as usual, the most likely future, if we didn't bow down to their Green New Deals and carbon taxes. And they used it to scare the pants off of kids, justify trillions in spending, and control, or at least try to control, every aspect of our lives. The science is settled, they would bellow. 97% of scientists agree, they would say. Well, guess what, my friends? The United Nations' own top climate committee just admitted it. RCP 8.5 was wrong. Implausible. Off the rails. A fairy tale built on assumptions so ridiculous, even a liberal arts major should have spotted them. In their latest scenario planning for the next big IPCC report, they've basically retired this entire doomsday model. Why? Well, because the real world didn't cooperate. Renewables got cheaper, emissions didn't explode as predicted, innovation happened, and humanity kept adapting and progressing without turning off the lights. The high-end nightmare scenarios they loved scaring us with, well, tossed in the dumpster where they belonged entirely in the first place. This isn't some fringe skeptic saying it. This is their own side. The high priests of the climate cult quietly admitting their scariest projections were based on fantasy economics and coal-burning boogeymen that never materialized. For years, we've been telling you climate changes. Yes, it always has, and it always will. CO2 is a plant food. It's not poison. The earth has warmed. The earth has cooled for millennia without SUVs or factories. But these alarmists turned a modest, manageable trend into an existential crisis to push socialism, wealth redistribution, and, of course, global control. See, they needed RCP 8.5 to make the models spit out catastrophe. 4 or 5 degrees of warming, melting ice caps, flooded cities, mass extinctions. Without it, their whole house of cards starts to wobble. And now, the science, the real, observable, data-driven science, has spoken against the alarmism. Temperatures haven't followed their hockey stick panic. sea levels are rising at the same slow rate they have for centuries. Hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, no worse than before, folks, despite what CNN's doom scroll tells you. Satellite data, balloon measurements, even their own adjusted surface records show the warming is happening, but nowhere near the apocalyptic rates that they hyped. Adaptation works. Technology has worked. Human ingenuity has worked. What doesn't work is central planning by elitists in Geneva who think they can tax the atmosphere and regulate your thermostat. This admission is huge. It's vindication for every scientist, every thinker, and every talk show host who dared question the narrative and got smeared as a denier. They called us conspiracy theorists for pointing out that RCP 8.5 required the world to use more coal than exists in some projections, or that it ignored how markets and innovation slash emissions naturally. Now their own committee is saying, yeah, that extreme stuff, well, not going to happen. But watch them spin it. They'll say, our policies worked. That's what they'll claim, even as they ignore that the real world diverged from their models years ago, long before the Paris Accord or all the windmills. My friends, this is why we fight, not because the climate isn't changing. It is, and we deal with it through prosperity, not poverty. We fight because the left uses fear as a weapon to remake society in their image. Bigger government, less freedom, more virtue signaling while they fly private jets to all their little conferences. The UN's climate racket has now been exposed again. The emperor has no clothes, and his projections, well, are crap. So to all the eco-warriors out there, the science has spoken. Time to dial back the panic, embrace human achievement, and let the market and real innovation handle the challenges ahead. This is still the greatest country on earth, powered by freedom, not fear, and we're here to remind you, you can't scare us. You can't scare all of us anymore, especially when even your own models are bailing on your own alarmism. And that's tonight's first word. All right, live from Studio 6B, 11 minutes past the hour. I don't know how much you guys have followed this, but Mr. Nolan, I'll give you first crack.
Well, this is the stuff conspiracy, tinfoil hat people and talking about this, since GE and, NBC and all these major corporations bought an ExxonMobil and all these big oil, big pharma bought into all of the green energy. When every channel went to be green, stay green, the agenda was really just fully corporatized to steer markets into their portfolio. And it's just been, again, FUD, endless FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt to get you to think the sky is falling. We've seen it how many times? The dinosaurs were going to come back for the killer bees, the demon hornets, whatever the heck that was.
They had the
rising seas.
The murder hornets. They had the encephalitis mosquito thing back about 20 some odd years ago, where it was just a giant mosquito flying around killing everybody.
And it was all to drive a carbon tax for a global currency. That's how you finance
But even before that, it was. I remember as a kid, the next ice age was coming.
Of course,
the next ice age was coming, and then all of a sudden it became, we're all going to burn up.
Death.
Yeah, we're all going to bake to death, and Manhattan's going to be underwater by the year 2000. Man, are they off?
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're still buying houses on in Montauk and in Martha's Vineyard, and like banks are going to insure those homes at
that's something we talked about.
$83 million, right? Okay.
Yeah, because you can always tell if it's a lie. Watch what the insurance company. If the insurance company is going to give you insurance on that home, that means they don't anticipate it ever going underwater. So.
All right, just getting started. 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's take our first break. We'll be back with sports news, Paul Nolan's news, on a Wednesday, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
YouTube chat. This is Turbo 231 Girl. That's who made the bet with you last night on the My Pillow. Remember earlier on we were talking about that? So she's already put a down payment with a super chat, $9.99 here. She says, "Hi guys. Well, if you all would have lost, you all would have been saying it was the first game, so that's what I'm saying. No sweeping here. I really should be up the anti-LOL. They got to save face tomorrow. Go Cav." She's a Cav girl. I guess she's from Ohio. She's like, I'm not from Philly. I'm a Sixers fan, but just the same, I'll see. I mean, they have bounced back, but like Rick said, Detroit and the Knicks are two different teams, and that is true at this point. So we shall see. That Garden is going to be rocking tomorrow night. I think they can feel it.
Rocking last night and outside.
The West teams do not look very solid, especially with the upset of Game 1, OKC falling to San Antonio and
San
Antonio looked great.
San Antonio looks good, but
Knicks have beat San Antonio 2 out of 3, and on New Year's Eve they should have won that game. They gave that game up with a huge lead. They should have swept the series 3-0.
Yep.
So don't sleep on the Knicks going to the NBA championship and being able to compete against a team from the West.
And look what happened when San Antonio was up against, what was it, Memphis? No. It was, who did they play just before this?
Can you put the hockey game on?
Was it Memphis?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Minnesota had two bigs, which were giving Wembanyama
Fits.
a problem.
Yeah.
I believe hockey's on ESPN.
Right now, they don't have anybody.
Knicks have two
Chet
good
Holmgren
bigs.
is a paper mache. He's not doing anything.
Two good bigs.
So you guys are
one of
saying
the bigs can't hit a foul shot and save his life.
I thought the West was guaranteed to win this thing. Isn't that what you guys were saying early in the year? The West was just unstoppable.
We work.
OKC is probably the best team overall.
Gilgeous won the MVP twice.
I just don't watch basketball. I didn't even know the Knicks were on last night. That's how
you're looking at
matchups.
I'm surprised because
I think it's a matchup nightmare for OKC.
I drove to Pittsburgh and back yesterday
with San Antonio because San Antonio.
So it's Friday at the end of the day.
Steelers OTA camp.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is here. We got that story.
Did they re-sign him?
Cut 20. It's last year.
He's announced it today.
Coming up, we got a story.
Okay. Yep. He was still good last year. I don't care.
He was.
Oh, sure he was.
Well, he wasn't playing for the Jets, so that helps.
Well, that does help. He played for the Jets. He blew a heel right away. Boom, I'm out.
His arm would have fallen off.
I know.
Yeah, who's the Jets quarterback this year going into the season?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, the legend.
Oh, that's right.
The pride of Seattle. He's come back.
Yeah, they brought him back for a second time.
From the dead.
The backup is the water boy.
Geno. You're better off with a box of Geno's pizza rolls.
Past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're talking in the break about the New York Jets having no chance to win anything this year. And I said, well, I don't even know who their quarterback is. Then Aaron reminded me that it's Geno Smith. Geno Smith again.
And we're like, who?
And then Aaron got so mad during the break that as we started to go into this next segment, she's counting us down at 10, 9, 8.
A terse countdown.
Don't be so angry at us, Aaron. We don't own the team.
We just factual news guys.
I'm angry at the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Nothing
plus,
to do with you.
Damon, leave her alone. She was just counting down to the number of wins that the Jets are going to have this year.
Oh, yes, counting down to 0.
Sure. Exactly.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was well done.
Yeah, very good. All right,
Fran Turner's my boss.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Let's kick it off. Speaking of, we've been talking a lot of sports.
Yes, we have.
But I like it, so I don't care. A little too much. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. What'd you say?
We're talking a little too much. We got other news to get to here.
Well, we get to all the news. What's the big deal?
What are you complaining about?
Come on.
All right, we won't do sports. Let's do news. You want to do sports?
No, we got
to
do sports.
Okay, sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, LFS6B's promo code to use. Slickster has it, I guess. What's up, Slick?
Okay, Big D. Well, we're talking playoffs tonight.
Playoffs?
Let's go, man. We already talked about the Knicks and their fabulous win. Hats off to the Knicks. Boy, I hate them. It's a personal thing. It goes back to when I was 9. We're not going to get into it. I left that with my therapist. But I will tell you this about the Knicks. That was a tremendous comeback. They were down 22 to come back like that. It was exceptional. And Jalen Brunson's the real deal. But it ain't over. And I'm with Turbo 231 Girl, or 321 Girl there. She already put a down payment on her My Pillow bet with Big D in the YouTube chat. Yeah. I'm with her. We're still riding high. Donovan Mitchell
why don't
comes
you
back
put a bet
tomorrow
then with me?
Oh, no, I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Put your money where your mouth is, not me. I'm not doing it,
Now,
baby.
I got to ask, what happened at 9 years old?
Oh, please.
Let's not get into Dr. J and the Nets and the $7 million and all that. I was there for all that. Please
Show us on the Nets where they touched you.
Okay.
yeah. On the Nets. Okay, here we go. Aaron Rodgers, Big D, confirms he's retiring after upcoming season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got Armando Salguero of Fox News here. The next logical question on everyone's mind after Aaron Rodgers agreed to return for another NFL season last week is, would he continue deciding year to year on how long he'd play? Or would this be his final year? Well, we have an answer from Rodgers himself. Aaron, we have Cut 20. Aaron Rodgers talking about it a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, I love Mike T. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in last year and love my experience with him. And, I thought when he said he was stepping away, that was an emotional moment just because we all love him so much and care about him. And, I thought that that was probably it for me in Pittsburgh. But when the decision was made to hire Mike,
Damon's favorite
I started
coach.
opening my mind back up to coming back.
Could be your last year. Do you even think of that right now?
Yes. This is it. Yeah.
This is it. He's after this, he's heading to Jeopardy as the new host.
One more year with the fat boy coach, and we're going to try and recreate what we did in Green Bay, and that's it.
I don't think the Steelers are going to do much this year. I really don't, especially like you said with McCarthy. I saw him with Dallas. He's just not a great coach, although they did have a good relationship when they were in Green Bay, the two of them. So maybe they'll conjure up something, but I don't think Green Bay's got quite the team.
He had a good relationship with Hackett, too. That didn't mean much.
Yeah, that's true. So, and just one more story. Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell offers explicit assessment of the team's historic collapse to the Knicks. We obviously talked about this earlier, but Ryan Canfield of Fox News. The Cleveland Cavaliers blew a 22-point fourth-quarter lead, and star Donovan Mitchell did not mince words about the historic collapse. The New York Knicks defeated the Cavs 115-104 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals last night at Madison Square Garden, erasing the 93-71 deficit with 7:52 to play in regulation. I said it in the locker room. Just that we lost the and blew it. Mitchell said in his post-game conference, the only bigger fourth-quarter playoff comeback in the last 30 years was the L.A. Clippers rally from 24 down to beat the Memphis Grizzlies Game 1 of the first round in 2012. The Cavs were in control of the game for roughly 40 minutes, but the Knicks defense stifled the high-powered offense, and Mitchell scored 29 points, had 6 steals in the loss. I had him scoring 50 last night. Obviously, he didn't come close, but we could have lost by 40. It would have been 1-0. Mitchell said, "Watch the film. We played pretty solid for 3 quarters. We'll make adjustments and go from there." Donovan Mitchell's going to make some adjustments.
All right, you can justify it in your head that doesn't matter whether you lost by 1 or by 40. You're still down one game, and that's true. But I mean, the series is over.
It's the way they lost.
You're not going to beat this team now. Yeah. If you can't win that game, there's no player on that team that thinks, okay, we can pull it out if this game is close.
Psychologically, you could be up by 30 points, and you'd be like looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, you're done.
Epic. So, congratulations to the New York Knicks. Tomorrow night, Game 2, 8 o'clock. Let's get it on in the Garden. We'll see.
All right, it's like very good. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. Let's do some news. Paul Nolan's got it. And Mr. Nolan, we've talked a lot about what's going on in schools. We happened to focus last time we talked about a story like this here on Long Island, but now this one's out in Colorado. So what's going on?
So a Colorado teacher refused to allow a 7th grader to present her pro-life poetry slam submission because the kids might have found it offensive or make the kids feel unsafe. And some examples of the topics that were accepted were making fun of the Second Amendment, making fun of Jesus, and proclaiming LGBTQ rights as a good thing.
Those were allowed.
Those were all allowed. The staff admitted that the poem met all the requirements, however, it couldn't be read because it was politically charged. And they tried to kick the 13-year-old girl out of the class. Since we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to ask you guys to check out this clip. Cut 16. We have 2 clips.
My teacher assigned an assignment in class to write a slam poem about a conflict in the world that we are passionate about. I chose life. I chose this topic because it's my family. In my poem, I met all of the criteria. I got reputable resources, and I included everything that I needed in my poem. But when I asked my teacher if I could present it, she said no. This is when my mom had to step in.
I immediately emailed the teacher, and I asked her to call me. It took till the next day for her to call me. They said that because of the offensive material in the poem that they were not going to allow her to present. And I pushed back on them because not only were they presenting a lot of political material themselves, but they were presenting it as truth. They brought up issues like racial issues. They had LGBTQ rights, immigration. To that, they said, sorry, no, this is too political. We are not going to allow it. And so here we are, just telling our story.
Yeah. When I further asked my teacher about why I could not present, she said that I would not be able to be even in the class while my fellow classmates are presenting their poems, and that I would have to sit outside.
Disgusting.
But when I further questioned her, she finally said that I could be in the class to listen.
Now, I have the clip of the poem that she wrote. It's about a minute. You guys want to take that to break? Yeah. This is brutal. Now, I just want to throw in there that this mom of that girl was nearly aborted. And if she was born in this climate today, that kid wouldn't exist and that woman wouldn't exist. And her story is interesting. We can talk about that after the break. But can we roll the clip of the poem?
A life is a life, no matter how small. 73 million people have been killed in 1 year and will be killed again this year, if not more, when they are completely innocent humans. They never get to see light of day before they are cast away. They did nothing wrong except exist and were dismissed. People say women in healthcare, but never think how unfair. They kill a baby for simply being there. The Word of God says, "You knit me together in my mother's womb. How come we never listen to this and try to send them to a tomb? I am fearfully, wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. His works are wonderful. A person is a person, no matter how small. A life is a life, no matter how small." We often forget this important detail. This detail could save a life. 60% of babies who weren't intended have died because of this. Why do people kill these innocent babies with a pill? Why do people say babies in the womb are a mistake, a thing that needs to be gotten rid of? Why? When you ask someone, is murder bad? They say yes, of course. But how come when you say murdering innocent babies is bad, they shame you? They say women's rights in healthcare, but what about the baby's rights? That's what's unfair. From the moment they are created, they are a human person. They are created in God's image. People say women's rights in healthcare, they say it's just a clump of cells, but no one dwells on the fact that a baby still has a heartbeat at 6 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing compares to the love a mother has for her baby. So just maybe, we let them have a chance to live and that love will grow. Destruction, dismay, dread. When will people comprehend that this needs to come to an end? A life is a life, no matter how small.
All right, we'll talk about that when we get back. Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. We're back right after this.
What a charming little lady, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to read that poem, obviously on the the camera in front of you, but good for those families standing their ground against the lunatics, complete lunatics. And now, if you want a different opinion, oh my God, I feel like the movie Ted.
Remember when
F you Thunder?
As we tune into the Oklahoma City Thunder game.
Holy cow, the building just shook.
Remember when I said we may need another 40?
A 40
if
ounce?
we disappear, just know that we just lost power here. Holy cow.
The big guy's going to give us another 40 to kind of clean things up.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That is some thunder. I haven't heard thunder like that in a long time.
Holy cow.
I heard some of that earlier today. I was in the bathroom.
I don't laugh at potty jokes.
I do.
He's a good one. He lives for them. What do we got going on here?
What up, Doc Scal? We got Riverbanks, Small Town Barbie, Six Beacons. Oh, never mind. They suck.
J Buck.
Never Slept 27.
Are you in the Rumble Rant? Eat Me is in there.
Really?
Cat says, Damon, visit the chat before it goes down again. What are you talking about?
X disconnected and I had to reset it.
Oh, Papa Nolan got a super chat. Look at this,
I don't
Papa
understand
Nolan.
what the thing is with the X connection.
$20.
They don't talk
I got a super chat for $20.
Yeah.
They keep messing on their back end. That screws things up.
No, Bill Moore. $20. Papa Nolan, great podcast today with KDJ and Gino Bisconte or Biscotti. Now, anyway, and blessings to Robert and Olivia Morris. Their story of J6 incarceration to marriage is an inspiration.
I'll tell you, that kid, the two of them are
Bill Moore, my buddy.
fantastic. Bill Moore's a great dude.
Oh, yeah.
But Robert and Olivia Morris, I mean, their story is really an incredible one. Good for them. I'm glad that, I'm glad everything's going to work out for them like it always does. And Ollie Lane, thank you for looking out for us.
The big 13 dog in the Rumble Rant. Ordinary passenger. Hassenpfeffer. Red Dog. Doc's Gal.
What's
Pineapple.
up, LX? Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. I don't know if my friends in the chat have followed Promethean. Good one today.
UCI Swagman. Gene PM. One more rumble.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So before we went to break, Paul was doing the story about this young girl out in Colorado. We didn't have a specific name of the school, right? Just in Colorado. Yeah, Colorado.
I did have the name, but I closed it out.
Who was told that she could not present her poem on being pro-life and life and the sanctity of life in front of her classroom. Meanwhile, the others who presented were presenting stuff on LGBTQ rights and all this other stuff, and those were allowed.
Border stuff. Damon, it's Drake Middle School in Colorado, Jefferson County Public Schools.
Okay, there you go.
We might as well call Colorado the land of misfit toys.
Another disaster in public education.
We've seen what they've produced.
And this is the problem, having been in public education, certainly well before any of this lunacy entered. There was none of this when I was there. But with a wife who's still in the public school system, approaching 30 years here soon enough. This is all too prevalent in many, many places. Even, unfortunately, in red areas. Long Island, I mean, I think we all agree here, especially where we are in Suffolk County, is for the most part, Trump country.
Oh, yeah. GOP country.
And yet, Paul, you remember the story you did on, was it Farmingdale or was it Massapequa?
Yeah.
With the homework report that went out, it was about Trump.
Oh, that was Farmingdale.
Yeah, it was Farmingdale. That's what I thought it was, because you did it when we were at the warehouse.
Yeah, the Nassau County schools are under attack, including Massapequa Indians.
Yeah, they want to change their name, all that crap from the state. It's a state.
And what's his name is standing up for it.
Oh, yeah, but the state itself, Hochul, and her minions of lunatics are going headstrong, and there's a lot of money coming in to build up a school board of libtards who are going to try to destroy that school, because that is an unwoke neighborhood. Massapequa is as red as it gets.
Sure.
It's all salt of the earth, like Italian, Irish, Jewish.
Born on the 4th of July, right? The movie and all that.
And
Cruise,
they
Massapequa.
The school insisted that the building next to it get rid of the chief logo. Well, the kids took it upon themselves after they whitewashed it to put the Massapequa chief back in there. So, and people who aren't living here should know that Massapequa was a very indigenous people, Indians, and we celebrate that heritage.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
And like most of Long Island, most of the towns and the mascots are, Indian based. You got Massapequa, Wantagh, Montauk, all throughout the Hamptons. You got the Shinnecock.
Yeah,
it's littered with.
But it was done as an homage. It wasn't we're being racist. It wasn't that at all.
I don't know what cheese has to do with it, but
the Massapequan Indians had Squaw Island, where they taught the history of what happened. And it's really fantastic. And the libs want you to forget history so they can erase it and then rewrite their own. So
and you have to push back on these people hard. If you're a parent out there with a young kid in school, you have to, number one, be on top of what's going on every homework assignment, and you have to be going to the school on parents' night, looking around, what's hanging in the, I did it all the time, and I'm telling you, I think I've said it on the show when I've come back from things. There's no nonsense going on where my kids thankfully went to school, but you have to be on top of it. And when you find something like a situation like this, you've got to push back on these people, and you've got to do it. You have to push back hard. You have to be willing to engage with them and really go after them on to whatever whatever that means, whatever you have access to, push as hard as you can push, because, a lot of these places, they get away with these things because nobody pushes back.
Right.
It's like they get away with, different things too. I always talk to my wife about these things. When she complains about, she'll say, I cannot believe they're doing XYZ. And I say, you know why they're doing XYZ? Because the last 10 years they've done XYZ. Everybody's always just said, okay. If no one showed up, guess what? They wouldn't do XYZ the next year.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for all these things.
And it's the same thing. You can take that from the schools into politics as well. The politicians will do the exact same thing that they did before because nobody's going to hold them to account and try to vote them out of office. So it kind of goes hand in hand, where you got to show up and you got to make noise. If you think something is wrong, point it out. Speak truth to power and throw it in their face. Make them defend their stupidity.
And you have to try to engage a debate at the school boards because most of these woke jokes have no idea how to defend the position they think they believe in. Yeah. They're just regurgitating what they were told by their, superior or CNN.
And we've seen some clips where we've shown, I know Rick has brought in some of the clips of the school boards where people have actually pushed back, and it's amazing, They have no answer. They have no comeback.
Even the kids, when the kids push back.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Or when parents try to go into the, the tranny striptease, and they got, umbrellas blocking cameras and dads coming in. It's creepy, man. It's just disgusting. It's grooming. It's really all that.
I think the best example is when they're discussing about books, these LGBTQ whatever books, pushing sex on these elementary and middle school kids. And then they're like, all right, well, I'm going to read you a passage from the book that you think is okay for my kid to read.
And they say, please don't use that language here.
Right. They freak out. They're like, that's disgusting. You can't read that here.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind that these people actually believe that is too disgusting for adults to hear, but it's okay for a kid in development to kind of drink in like it's air. Yeah. Because that's what they want it to be. That's how they attack.
All right, 36 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Bad actor could use mythos. Is that how you pronounce that, Aaron? Mythos?
Mythos.
Is it?
Mythos.
Mythos, that's what I thought. Press Secretary J.D. Vance takes questions on AI and Pope Leo. That's the basis of today's diaper diplomacy. Roll it, Aaron.
Government need to create a new mandatory review process for new AI models, given the concerns about mythos? And secondly, in a few days, Pope Leo is going to release his encyclical on artificial intelligence. What influence, if any, do you see the Pope's guidance on AI having to broader society?
Well, I think when the Pope issues an encyclical on artificial intelligence, it's going to have some influence. I, of course, don't know how much influence. I don't know exactly what it's going to say. But I think when the leader of the world's largest Christian denomination speaks on an issue like that, it's certainly going to have some influence. And I'm sure it'll contain a lot of insights, some of which I'll probably agree with, some of which I may not. But I think that it's going to be a very, very important document. And I think that, one of the things I always found fascinating about Pope Leo is that he chose the name Leo XIV, which, of course, is recollecting Leo XIII. Leo XIII was the Pope during a period of incredible industrial transformation in the entire world. Of course, that industrial transformation, according to a lot of people, led to the rise of fascism and communism in Europe. I think it was interesting that Leo XIV chose that name to maybe apply Christian social teaching in a new era with a new technological innovation in the same way that the Industrial Revolution was the technological innovation of its time. So I think it'll be fascinating. I'm looking forward to reading it. My guess is it's going to have a lot of influence. On the question of what our policy is going to be, look, what we're trying to do in the Trump administration is very simple. The president wants us to be pro-innovation. He wants us to win the AI race against all other countries in the world. He recognizes that AI is going to be an important tool, not just for our economy, but for our military. And so he wants to ensure that we are winning that particular race. We also want to make sure that we're protecting people. We're protecting people's data. We're protecting people's privacy. I think with this Mythos release, one of the things that we're very focused on, of course, is whether not necessarily the developers of Mythos, but whether some other bad actor could use Mythos to target various cybersecurity vulnerabilities. So it's something that we're working in a collaborative way with the technology companies, and we're just trying to make sure that the American people are as safe as possible.
Okay, very good.
That's good.
Little Terminator 2 references there.
Man.
Yeah. The vice president, I think, was being very cordial there because I'll just say it. Who cares what the Pope thinks on AI? Do people really care what the Pope thinks on AI?
I got to be honest.
Why is the Pope delving into telling us what he thinks about AI?
I don't care about anything he says.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, you know what? I think he was just kind of just letting him have his, just giving him some flowers. Be like, yeah, we'll take a look at what you write, and we'll grade it, and then we'll move on. Probably won't take too much from it. But I think he was just acknowledging, okay, the Pope is an important person. Let's let him have his few minutes of putting out a paper or something.
I mean, there's plenty of things the Pope could take some time and write some important stuff about that's going on in the Catholic Church and in the world. We care what he thinks about how AI's what?
Yeah.
What I found more interesting was
you do?
No, I don't honestly. But he's a U.S. native, so maybe that. I don't know. He's giving us some creed there.
What I found more interesting was the way he tackled the Pope and choosing his name. And how he linked that all together. I thought that was really impressive.
You think he gave that much thought to it, the Pope, Leo?
I'm talking about J.D. Vance.
Yeah, that was great, but I don't
J.D. Vance just pulled apart an entire piece of history, and you could tell the reporters, they were like, huh? What is it? There was somebody here before him named Leo? Yeah. and the way he tied it into where it fit in history is amazing.
That was good.
That was crazy.
That was well studied.
All right, let's jump into the headline news. We can at least get a story done, and we'll do some more when we get back. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, you want to hear crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got crazy for you. Here is cut number one. Kamala Harris, check this out. Cut one.
Oh, boy.
Say, look, this is a moment where there are no bad ideas. A no bad idea brainstorm is what I'd like to call it.
Yeah, that's what she said to her husband, Doug Emhoff. And he said, yeah, you're right. Here's a great idea. You should move out.
Isn't his name Jack? Wait.
Oh, no, Doug Emhoff.
Doug Emhoff.
That's right. Kamala Harris has moved out of the family house as she ditches the family home for a Malibu mansion. Yes, the former VP Kamala Harris has left her hubby behind and settled into a pricey Malibu pad while plotting another useless run for the White House. Yeah, believe it or not.
You gotta be kidding me.
What? What is it? Oh, wait. What was the first clip? Was that her recently? I don't understand that. What's the tie from the clip to the story?
She said there are no bad ideas, and I said that's what her husband said. There are no bad ideas. Now get out.
Oh. Okay. You're just it wasn't okay. Gotcha.
No, it wasn't their actual conversation.
Oh, okay.
Because that would have been awesome.
Do you remember how he was paraded around as this incredibly? Like he was like little dog on a leash for the wife. All the BS with him, and just completely pretend to be the first man, and all the And here he is.
And it turned out he had a big show. He lost his first marriage because he was having sex with the housekeeper and all this other stuff. And there was another woman he was involved with that he smacked around, I think. Well, with her marriage to Doug Emhoff now hanging by a thread, the 61-year-old former VP has gone solo and plunked down $8.15 million. Wonder where she got that money from. For the perfect retreat to launch another failed campaign.
She got it from the Medicaid scam.
Yeah, Kamala is focused on trying to win the Democratic nomination again with or without Doug's support. Probably not going to get it.
Wow.
According to insiders, her thumping at the hands of President Donald Trump wrecked her 11-year-old marriage to Emhoff, and it had nothing to do with her annoying voice. The grueling campaign also put an unwelcome spotlight on his affair with a family nanny that led to an aborted pregnancy and destroyed his first marriage. So there you have it.
Wow.
Kamala says, you know what? It's time for me to fly the coop. No bad ideas, so here's another one. I'm going to run for president again.
I mean, that is a horrific idea.
Exactly.
We'll take it.
But we'll take it.
We'll take
it. Run all
right, 43 past the hour. We'll do some more news with Delgado when we get back right after this.
I feel like I'm in 7th grade sometimes.
Fish updates.
Snotty Scott.
See it anywhere.
Snotty Scotty wants to know if he...
Where's the background on that story? Come on.
No, she did not marry her brother.
No, that's
she married one of her primary donors.
Maybe she's going to marry Elon. Yeah, look at this. Kamala Harris moves out. Marriage meltdown. Whispers swell as she ditches family mansion.
Radar Online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we're gonna get a call. We're gonna get a call. Breaking news.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Cat.
What? That's a breaking news.
Yeah.
All right, let me look it up.
The big dog says, I am a space cadet. Well, the big dog's always got these great contributions, and you're right on.
Man, oh, man. That is funny.
Oh, Vanessa Trump.
Yeah, I saw that.
See
That's
that?
terrible.
What happened?
What?
Confirmed breast cancer.
Oh.
Sounds like she's hopefully on top of
it. Caught it early and pray for her.
I don't know about that, Delgado. I don't see one thing on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Not one thing.
Is that the UFO site news you got off of that site? Oh. It's right up there with the UFO.
I mean, I just typed in Kamala Harris moving out on X and didn't get a single return.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying.
Here's another one.
Oh, he's got more. He got a couple of leads.
Where's this one from?
Oh no, that was a relationship with Biden. That's not. What? I stand by the Radar Online.
Yeah.
The Radar Online.
They're claiming it's an exclusive story, which is why they're not finding it.
Daily
that's
Gazoo.
why you're not getting it, because it's
Susie
It's the
Bennett.
Daily Gazoo, Delgado. The Great Gazoo.
It's an exclusive. That's why you're not getting it.
You know why it's exclusive?
The only ones who ran that phony story. That's why it's exclusive.
It's an exclusive. You won't find this word anywhere else.
Man, oh, man.
That's kind of the point.
Maybe in the supermarket near the
Anywhere
checkout.
else.
Yeah. The inquiring minds don't want to know.
You said yesterday you're about an hour.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 13th hour on a Wednesday night. We think we're on the air right now. The clocks here are all frozen. I'm telling you, the roof here is hanging on by a thread with the storm that's going on right now.
That's true.
Never mind Delgado's news stories. The roof here is holding on by a thread. If we disappear, I'm telling you, it's because we've lost power to the building. So the storm in New York right now is incredible. So,
Well, I've not lost my power. Still here.
no, just your mind. 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's go back to some headline news since we only got to do the one fake story.
Fortunately.
It wasn't fake. It's an exclusive to Radar Online. It's a Radar Online exclusive.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll roll with it.
All right.
rolling with
Beam us up another one, Delgado.
You got another one?
Yeah.
How about CNBC?
Okay, no, another.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
I have.
All right. Well,
They have
according to
it
them,
too?
according to them, U.S. crude oil falls below $100 per barrel as Trump says Iran talks are in their final stages. Trump told reporters earlier today that the administration is in the final stages of negotiations with Iran, according to a poll report, and has repeatedly made optimistic statements about reaching a deal with Iran and a quick end to the war, only for tensions to escalate again. So it's kind of been going back and forth. But U.S. crude oil prices ended up falling below $100 per barrel earlier today. And here's what President Trump had to say about a deal with Iran and having to wait. Cut number 2, and this is something we actually talked about yesterday that came up in discussion. Cut number 2, check this out.
You said yesterday you're about an hour away from making a decision. Where does that stand today? Have you heard anything from them?
Very right on the borderline, believe me. If we don't get the right answers, it goes very quickly. We're all ready to go. We have to get the right answers. It would have to be a complete 100% good answers. And if we do, we save a lot of time, energy, and lives, most importantly. Could go very quickly. Do I get what? I never get tired. But what I like to do, if I can save war by waiting a couple of days, or I can save people being killed by waiting a couple of days, I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, so there's Trump, and again, that was a discussion we were having yesterday about, saying he's going to go and then he's not going to go and he changes it. And, my thinking was that he doesn't want to go to war. He doesn't want people to die, and he'll give it every shot so he doesn't have to take that step.
But, is there a red line or not? What's your guess right now?
I'm sure there is.
Is there one there?
I'm sure there is, and he knows what it is. I don't think
because I don't know what it is.
Right.
Do you know what it is?
And I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And for sure, you can bet your bottom dollar there that Iran doesn't know what it is.
No.
And
so then how does anybody know if they cross it?
I guess they'll find out when they wake up with a $50 million missile parked next to them in bed.
Yeah, that's true. That'll wake you up real quick.
As far as other things coming down the pike for the American people and the country, here is cut number 3. Here's President Trump talking about the amazing things that he wants to see happen and that are coming up. Cut number 3. Check this out.
You're going to see things that are amazing. You're going to see a lot of amazing things over the next 3 years for our country. And I'd like to talk more about the economic, because we have $18 trillion being spent, and no country's ever had anything like that. We have car plants pouring in from Mexico, Canada. They don't want to be there. There's no reason to be there, because they want to sell to our market. We have car companies and plants coming in from Germany, from South Korea, from Japan, coming in by the billions, and they're being built now. You're going to see things that nobody thought was possible. You're going to end up saying he's the greatest president that ever lived. Goodbye, everybody.
That's one way. That's one way to close it out.
Yeah, finishing out on a strong note. Also, mentioning that prices would fall sharply once a deal with Iran was reached. So he's hoping for a deal that will open up the Strait of Hormuz, hopefully by June. So there you have it. And that's the president from earlier today.
All right, 9 minutes to the hour. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, good one in Colorado. Big D, NHL Western Conference Finals, Game 1, no score, with about 50 seconds to go there in the first period. Avalanche and Golden Knights getting it on. And we got the Spurs and Thunder, Game 2, Western Conference Finals on the hardwood. And right now, what's the score? They're 14-13. Good game there with the OKC leading by 1. We got Thunder rolling over us, and Thunder needs to roll tonight, or this series is going to be over, Big D, if they don't get this done in OKC and have to go on the road for a Game 3 down 2-0. We'll keep an eye on that. Major League Baseball right now, Braves 9-1 over the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th, the Guardians and Tigers in a pitcher's duel tied at 1. Nationals 6-4 over the Mets. Right now, bottom of the 8th in D.C. Yankees are delayed right now. We certainly know why, with all this rain and thunder over us, playing the Blue Jays. They were in the top of the first inning, so that game can't even get underway. The Red Sox 2-1 over the Royals in KC, mid-5th, end of 4. Brewers blanking the Cubs 4-0. Pirates blanking the Cardinals 2-0, bottom top of the 4th. Bottom first, Dodgers 1-0 over the Padres. Early game in San Diego there. We got the Cincinnati Reds earlier today, defeated the Phillies 9-4. I was glad to see that. Rays 5-3 over the Orioles. Twins 4-1 over the Astros. Rangers 5-4, nipping the Rockies there. Diamondbacks clipped the Giants 6-3, and the Mariners edge the White Sox 5-4. One other game, first pitch 9:38. Athletics at the Angels. And Joey Chestnut's in the news. The hot dog eating champion. Every year, July 4th, we tune into him on ESPN right at Nathan's. Well, hot dog eating champ Joey Chestnut pleads guilty to battery. This is Warner Todd Houston at Breitbart. Joey Chestnut, famed as the many-time winner of the Nathan's hot dog eating championship in New York City, has pleaded guilty to a battery charge and been handed probation in an Indiana court. The 17-time hot dog champ was sentenced to 180 days of probation after being charged with and pleading guilty to a misdemeanor battery resulting from bodily injury in Hamilton County, Indiana, according to USA Today. The incident reportedly occurred in the local bar, where else, right, on March 21st. It's not exactly clear what happened, but other court documents say Chestnut hit another bar patron across the face with an open hand.
With a bun?
Well, that's the bun, yeah. Chestnut has no travel restrictions and is still set to participate in the annual annual Nathan's Famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest scheduled to be held in Coney Island, New York on July 4th, where he will defend his title.
Yeah. This could be a little intimidation for the people looking forward to that.
You know what?
Don't try to beat me or I'll whoop you.
Well, his probation officer says this kind of behavior doesn't cut the mustard, but that's another story.
These world-class athletes think they can do anything they want. These well-trained, world-class Mark Sanchez types, it's,
Yeah. No pun intended. But yeah, well, anyway, BD, what can I say? That's a wrap in sports, literally.
All right, Slick, very good. Paul Nolan's here. He's got some news. You also have a clip from Trump's time on the tarmac. I saw this today.
This is a good clip, just talking about it. We talk about it all the time, right? We think that the deep state players and the lifelong politicians think that he's a passing storm. They'll just wait him out. Well, here's what Trump thinks about that.
Over the weekend, Mr. President, he suggested that there's still people in your DOJ and FBI that are waiting you out. They're waiting until your administration is over to get back to work. Do you think those people are still in the DOJ and FBI?
I hope not. Well, we're going to seek them out. We'll seek them out. We'll get rid of them. Okay? Because you have in every agency, you have scum. And certainly they did in the FBI and DOJ. But Todd Blanche is doing a fantastic job. Cash is doing a very good job. So we will prevail. I've been standing here a long time with you, many years, right? And they've been saying, I think it's it. I think he's trouble. Here I am, It's a very constant situation. But I think you're going to find that we have great people in the FBI and we have great people in DOJ. Todd Blanche has really been doing a great job.
Good stuff, from the president. He looks pretty confident about, all the investigations going on. He looks pretty, I'll go as far as to say smug, that he said he's not worried about these deep state players taking him down. It
looks like he's in a good way.
Yeah.
All right, that's a quick wrap on hour one. Hour two coming back right after this, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday. Real America's Voice.
They can be. But they're going to have a problem with, if they play the Knicks, they're going to have a problem with Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Wembanyama's going to have a lot of foul trouble.
He's because he got exposed with the previous series. Up against big guys who are heavier, he's got a problem with them. No, definitely not.
They really? Salad. He's gonna have it.
Damon, did you get the text?
Pizza's at
from Aaron.
Pizza.
Is there?
No.
All right, I'll go get her.
Hey, D, I might have plans Friday night. Friday.
Mr. Craig.
He's going to be in town.
What's happening? Bowser Roadkill. He's got his hot dog emojis. He's got his hot dogs out there. They like that Joey Chestnut story, but there's so much you could say. Batteries. And,
How much time we got? I'll go see.
Why don't you go check? Get a good idea.
Nice try.
Delgado, they always said your lights out, pal. He needs some time off.
Aaron's laugh. How we don't have that.
Where's he going? Outside to check the.
I told him to check the lamppost.
Check out the lightning and the thunder.
Exactly.
Someone give him a 5-iron when he goes out there.
Between me, you, and a lamppost is Delgado.
This is crazy.
Yeah, we're getting hammered.
The building is shaking.
Really? Harry's not doing a Zumba class upstairs.
This place is solid concrete. It's not the tiny shack you'd imagine.
Harry's, come on down. Quit that Zumba up there.
Boom, 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 boom. Actually, knowing Harry, they be doing it too. I did not know that.
Yeah, Harry. Good old Harry, man. Gotta love him.
Oh, God.
This Memorial Day weekend, it's more than an event. It's a celebration of the United States of America and the people who love her. Join Real America's Voice and Real America's Music for Celebrate Freedom, a one-of-a-kind live broadcast and concert experience at the iconic Marty B's in Dallas, Texas. From 4 to 9 p.m., patriots from across the country will come together for an unforgettable night, honoring faith, freedom, and the spirit that makes this nation strong. The entire event is live, kicking off with a powerful hour of worship, followed by a national broadcast hosted by Bo Davidson, featuring voices you trust like Ben Berkwam, and building into a full concert experience. With performances from artists Wynn Williams, Inside Out, and Ram artists Deep Hawk, Natasha Owens, Celeste Kellogg. Tickets are free, but you must register, and they will go fast. Scan the QR code now to lock in your spot before they're gone. Celebrate Freedom, presented by Patriot Mobile and Preborn. Let's celebrate America together.
Guys from live from Studio 6B, they're pretty hysterical. Have you seen this Slick Rick guy?
I'm Joe.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. 9 o'clock on the East Coast, live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice. Slickster is here. He's going to do some more sports. Delgado's got some more headlines for the next 20 minutes. Paul Nolan's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. All right, we have important business to get to. Aaron, put the camera on me. And if you remember, we took Don Newen's great song on Real America's Music from number 42 on whatever night that was, a couple weeks ago, to number 1 on the rock charts, number 3 overall. And when I say we, I don't mean necessarily just us, the whole network, everybody.
Right.
It's a team effort here at Real America's Voice for Real America's Music. But we just happened to be on that night talking about it. And, of course, you, the Live from Studio 6B audience, responded. And one of the things, brilliantly, that the network decided to do was to up the ante, as we say in the business, and make this deal just a little bit sweeter since we're doing this huge, big concert right there, Celebrate Freedom, May 24th at Marty B's. Sold out, by the way. If you forget going, if you haven't already secured your ticket, it's not happening. I think it's 5,000 tickets or so already gone. Sold out. And it'll be a live broadcast concert experience from Marty B's right there, May 24th, which I believe is this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
So here's the update, though. So listen up, because now you actually, since it is sold out, you have one chance left to make it there if you want to make it there. And that is because of this. We had selected a winner for the all-expense-paid trip to Dallas, as I told you that night that we were pushing the song to number 1 for the Celebrate Freedom event. But unfortunately, that winner has decided that they just can't make it work for their schedule, and they don't want to, obviously hold it up for, for somebody else and then not be able to make it. So they, very nice of them to just say, I have to bow out. Let me try to give you enough time to find another winner. So that's what the network is going to do. So listen up. If you purchased or downloaded the song and are available, you have to be available, though, to attend Celebrate Freedom in Dallas on Sunday, please send your proof of purchase, order receipt to info at americasvoice.news. Info at americasvoice.news. So again, you have to be able to go. If you downloaded the song during our push to bring it to number 1 or any time after that, send your purchase order receipt to info at americasvoice.news. And again, please only do it, only send it if you are genuinely interested in making it to the concert on Sunday. So if you're, especially if you happen to be in that area, of course. But even if you're not and you're like, hey, I could leave whenever the ticket is, I want to get down there to Marty B's and hang out with Harry on the highway. Then forward your purchase order receipt to info at americasvoice.news. And again, we want to just make sure that whoever the next winner is actually can take advantage of it. So if you know that Sunday's out, don't send it in. If you can make it on Sunday, then send in your receipt and you have an opportunity. Aaron, do we know when they're going to pick the backup? It's got to be soon, right? Because if this person has to fly.
Yeah, they're going to pick within the next 24 hours. So if you are available, you have to send it right now to info at americasvoice.news.
Okay, info at americasvoice.news. Send it in right now. They're waiting for your receipts, and then we're going to pick somebody, I guess, in the next 24 hours. And if you have to get on a plane, then we'll get you on there and get you down there for what's going to be a great day. And a great show, and great people, and great interactions, and all kinds of fun stuff. And Harry on the highway will be there.
Is Harry picking the winner? Because that'd be historic in itself. Harry picking a winner.
I don't think Harry's going to be picking the winner.
Okay.
And I don't think Harry's going to be doing the barbecue either, or whatever they're doing behind the grill.
He gets grilled enough.
If Harry picks the winner, it'll be like what's that Sweeney girl? You know?
Yeah. By the way,
hey, you still seeing that guy?
Did you know I'm an
Damon, any free food or Buc-ee's snacks? Dave Syverson wants to know. I would think there'd be all of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Buc-ee's should be a sponsor. I don't know if they are, but that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
The big 13 dog in the Rumble Rant says I can be there in 3 days from Idaho. Well, if you download the song, make sure you send that proof of purchase. Like
there you go.
Let's go.
And that's the important part, because you get this all the time, where people will send their name and address, but not include what they're supposed to include. You got to include that proof of purchase.
Yes, you have to include everything. If you include your receipt and you don't put your name or your phone number, they're not going to be able to enter you in the drawing. And I dealt with a lot of this as people send things and they forgot one thing or the other.
Right.
Send everything. The receipt, your name, address, email.
Firstborn, whatever you got.
Yeah, firstborn, whatever you got.
Security number, your favorite passwords.
Yeah, send us your socials and passwords to all bank accounts. Send them your receipt to download the song. And then we will get you possibly winning. And going down to Marty
B's.
Marty B's.
Marty B's.
I keep thinking of Matty T's in Vegas.
Of course.
Is that where Matty? Is it Matty T's? No, there's another country place called Matty T's. Marty B's.
Marty B's. Dallas.
Celebrate Freedom. Dallas, Texas.
Dallas is a fun
Slick,
city.
you really should be there.
I love Dallas. I haven't been there in a bit. I'm overdue. I love Dallas. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite cities.
Okay.
Yeah, you know your name is on something, right?
Yeah, well, did I tell you that?
Your name is on like a brick or something outside the stadium, right?
Because you tell us all the time.
Yeah.
Does it have a frowning face on it?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
It says, I love the Cowboys. They suck.
It does. You can flip it, though. It says two different things.
All right, very good. All right, 7 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So let's kick off hour 2 with some news. Spencer Pratt. I had an article about Spencer Pratt today, but I'll let Delgado do his news on it first. What's going on with Spencer Pratt, Delgado?
All right. Well, it turns out President Trump has heard about Spencer Pratt and his campaign, and Trump wishes Spencer Pratt well in the L.A. mayor's race. He made those comments today, of course, fresh after unseating Representative Thomas Massie Tuesday night. He voiced his support for Spencer Pratt in L.A., but stopped short of endorsing the fellow reality TV star. Here is President Trump on Spencer Pratt, cut number 4. Check this out, cut 4.
Rolling troops, sir. Pratt, do you see yourself in him at all? A former reality TV star?
No, I'd like to see him do well. He's a character. I don't know him. I assume he probably supports me. Does he support me?
So?
I think so, yeah. I heard he does. I heard he's a big MAGA person. He's doing well. I don't know. If you have a rigged vote out there, that's the problem. The votes are rigged. You have a really rigged vote in California.
Oh, boy. You
have all the mail-in ballots, everything else. Very hard to win because the elections are very dishonest.
Yeah, so there's a president, talking about Spencer Pratt. He stopped short of endorsing him, but and of course voiced his concerns about the election integrity out in California.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen the videos floating around about people getting 6-7 ballots mailed to them. All the rigging is already beginning out there. So let's hope it's too big to rig.
Aaron Hanscom over at PJ Media, where our good friend Kevin Downey Jr. writes, has a piece today on, and it's actually an interesting take on what's going on with Spencer Pratt. He lives out there in California. He's got a bunch of friends out there, liberal friends, and he says, I have a liberal friend from L.A. who I could actually imagine narrating, one of these videos that Pratt has put out, and he put out another one today, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He says, I can imagine my friends narrating one of those videos that are making the headlines. They've all been affected, all by the crisis exacerbated under Karen Bass' inept rule out there. They woke up one morning to find a homeless man asleep in her car. Her house was broken into by 2 men, and even her children's belongings were rifled through. The home she grew up in burned down in the 2025 fires, just like Pratt's. She told me she hates Karen Bass, especially after Bass refused to answer questions upon returning from Ghana, where she was when the fire started. My friend's also a lifelong Democrat, and you could imagine her story would influence many Democrat voters on the fence about whom to vote for in this mayoral election. Here's the problem, he says. My friend would never agree to appear in a Pratt video. You see, she's been taught her whole life from the media, her professors in college, and the movies and shows she watches that Republicans are evil. Whether it's a MAGA-aligned congressman or a rhino senator, if they have an R next to their name, it's unacceptable to vote for them no matter what. And this is what we always say. They voted their own demise.
Yeah.
She did vote for the billionaire real estate developer Rick Caruso against Karen Bass in 2022, even though he had been a registered Republican in the past, but only because he chose to run as a Democrat in that election. However, that was before 4 nightmare years under Bass, which have been worse than even her biggest opponents could have imagined. Now, Pratt's new ad is directed to voters just like her in the yoga mom block. Like my friend who can't imagine voting for a Republican, but who have had it with the one-party rule in Los Angeles.
We have that ad if you want to run it.
Yeah, go ahead and run it if you have it.
It's cut number 6. Here's the new Spencer Pratt ad that hits, the people that Damon was just reading about. Cut 6.
This mayor race is really heating up. Who you guys voting for? Haven't decided? Same, haven't really been following it. Same. Same? Same. I'm not MAGA or anything, but the city's kind of gone right? Oh, yeah. Jessica stepped on a needle at the playground the other day. I'm not MAGA or anything, though. I'm not MAGA or anything, but have you been downtown lately? Looks like an episode of The Walking Dead. Not that I'm MAGA or anything, though. Spencer Pratt seems like he has some good ideas. Not that I'm MAGA or anything. He does seem really angry all the time, though. Well, they did burn his house down. Also, apparently he's staying at the Bel Air Hotel, not the trailer on his property. Well, yeah. They burned his house down. Okay, we're all adults here. How about on 3, we just say who we're voting for? 1, 2, 3. Spencer Pratt. Yeah. Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt. Can you imagine if our wives knew?
We're all voting for Spencer Pratt, right? Of course. Obviously. I wish I could vote like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. I mean, that's
right on. Talk about getting to the heart of the psychology in the ad. It's just perfect.
That is good.
Sometimes it only takes one to show the way. All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
can I do this for you, D?
No.
Don't mail them to you. Don't use a letter.
Please follow directions.
I did not know.
One more time. If you're going to submit your receipt, please submit it to info@americasvoice.news. Let me give you a little hint. I should not be able to see those.
So where do you want to go with
I just want to finish up with the Spencer Pratt thing here for a second.
Yeah.
All right, Delgado, have a good. Hope he has a good game.
I hope he dominates, dude.
Sports arena?
Oh, we're at the block.
Really? I didn't know they were still doing
10
well there
minutes.
for that age.
Wait, how far is it from here?
They got a basketball court.
Is it far from here? What time the game's going to be over about? What time will the game end about?
They have a men's league.
No, otherwise I'd love to come in and watch it.
I haven't been there in
by the time I'm out.
Hockey there. Have fun.
My son? Working.
They keep him working. Plays enough in college.
Yeah.
Huh? AC.
I mean, they need to.
Yeah. Game was back and forth. You like Paul? Well, Colorado obviously is who you'd bet on, but I mean, who you pulling?
You know what? I really have no dog in the race here, but I'm kind of rooting for Colorado, Brock Nelson. But when it comes down to it, I'd like to see Carolina win it all. I like Brendan Moore, and I love the kid Brandon Bussey, Long Island boy.
Oh, yeah.
I watched him grow up.
Carolina's just, they broke my heart too many times with the Islanders.
Yeah, I know. I know. I get it.
I have a bad taste in my mouth with that team.
Listen, I totally get it.
I'm not a big fan of Montreal either because I can go back to the 70s and tell you how they broke my heart in those series against the Islanders. But
where do you want to go story-wise?
Well, sound like the blues. 17 past the hour. America is entering its 250th year, and the direction of this country is being decided right now in our culture and our economy. And who we choose to support matters more than ever. Most wireless companies don't care who you are or what you believe. They just want your money. Patriot Mobile, well, they're different. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has stood with Americans who believe freedom is worth defending, funding the Christian conservative movement when others have stayed silent. And here's the deal, and you don't have to give up on quality or service when you switch to Patriot Mobile. They deliver premium priority access on all 3 major U.S. networks, so you'll get the same or better coverage than you have today. Think switching is a hassle? Well, I'm here to tell you that it isn't. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Their 100% U.S.-based support team can activate you in minutes. If you're still paying off a device, Patriot Mobile even offers a contract buyout. This is a defining year. We must work together to save our country. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code RAV, R-A-V, for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/RAV or 972-PATRIOT. And make the switch today. Our friends from Patriot Mobile. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. I just want to go back to the Spencer Pratt thing here for a second, back to our friends over at PJ Media, where our friend Kevin Downey Jr., the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, heard right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. You can hear each morning, and of course, on this show on at least Friday, sometimes more. They say that people like prominent Democrats like Nicole Avant, who was Barack Obama's ambassador to the Bahamas, entertainment mogul Haim Saban, Universal Music Group chairman and CEO Sir Lucian Grange, I guess is how you pronounce it. They've all donated to Pratt. But is there a silent majority of Democrats, like the ones in that video that we just showed you, that can carry him to victory? Well, veteran political reporter Mark Halperin thinks yes. He believes Pratt can win and has even said at times that he, in fact, will win because Los Angeles is a total failed city. It's not scientific, he said. There's very limited polling data here, but what I find is a lot of my liberal friends in Los Angeles are going to support Spencer Pratt, including many who have never voted for a Republican for anything because the status quo has become just too ridiculous. The governance of that city is ridiculous, and you've got the special case of the fires and the governance around the fires. Not every city's dealing with that, but all of the other issues about the quality of the schools, the quality of life, the homelessness, the crime, all of that is there. Halperin also said that Pratt's viral video ads, comparing them somewhat to Mondami's successful campaign in New York City, he said, however, Mondami's victory should also serve as a cautionary example. Remember that in 3 Jewish voters voted for Mondami despite his anti-Semitic and anti-Israel views. Bass's coalition of union, progressives, and urban voters has been taught, much like so many Jewish voters in New York City, to never vote Republican. What's needed is a permission structure. That's why Halperin thinks the Pilates video is so effective. And I thought that was a amazing part to the video, kind of the silent. No one wanted to say anything until you had the one guy who finally said, as soon as he said, okay, I'm voting for Pratt. And then, oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, oh, yeah, me too. And sometimes it just takes one to lead for everybody to kind of say, oh, maybe I can actually talk about.
It's truly amazing the pulse of the city in the ads he's running. Like, he really does. He's hit them right, and the order in which he's hit them, just completely exposing the lunacy. Listen, this park doesn't have a lot of needles that have AIDS on them, so it's okay. Yeah. And it's humorous through all of it. And then like the Gotham City look and, the evil villains or the Marie Antoinette and the aristocrats eating, beautiful meals while everyone's on the ground for scraps and cake. Yeah. It's been a fascinating ride. And look, this thing's going to end up in a runoff. Neither are going to have enough votes, and it's going to go head-to-head. And I just don't see without Rick. If this was 100% straight up, I would bet the farm on Pratt. But
wait, you think the mayor is going to run? Or are you talking about the governorship's going to end up in a runoff?
Don't I understand it right that you have to have a majority to get a win, and then in the mayor race where you then need to have a runoff, and then it's a head-to-head vote? I thought it was a similar thing there, but
you might be right. I didn't know. Because I know that there's been a lot of talk about the governor race, whether it will be the top 2 Republicans because of the way it works.
The jungle primary.
Yeah.
But I think it's similar where there'll be a head-to-head runoff. But either way, he's in this race. He's made it a race, and you got to believe these ads are not going to stop coming, and he's going to keep sending the messaging, and it's fantastic. What do we have to do? We have to. For one, if Trump does support him, it can't hurt, even though we know the lefties in L.A. But
it could hurt.
I just think anytime he gets behind someone, it seems to work out.
Yeah, that momentum gets going, and the Trump train.
Well, it's a different dynamic, obviously, in California.
It is a different dynamic out there.
Everything's different there.
That's why I thought the ad was so effective. Also saying, I'm not MAGA or anything, which is like perfect.
Well, that's the thing I love about it is that what Halperin writes about, it's interesting, is that idea of a permission structure. How do you give people who have been trained their entire life, no matter what, for them to say it's okay to vote for a Republican?
Yeah, they've been voting blue their whole lives.
Can these ads finally accomplish that with enough of them before the election takes place?
I thought I think it's perfect the way that the subtlety of it. And if they can keep sending that messaging and softening the blow, especially when you hear Pratt say, I've been a Democrat my whole life. I'm one of you guys. I'm just a common sense guy. This is nonsense. Deep down, I'm a Democrat, but this is not what the Democrat Party looks like. You know, when you look at the videos all over LA, I mean, there's a legitimate problem. It's as bad as some of the worst neighborhoods in Philadelphia, where people are living in the sewer systems. It's just terrible. Disgusting, like Judge Dredd and stuff.
I can't believe those tents, the amount of tents that they have. It's
brutal.
Incredible.
Yeah. What's going on in Wisconsin, Paul, with the voter registration?
Well, this is a great clip. It's about a minute long, and it just speaks to the endless fraud. It speaks to the end. Look, we saw in 2016, and we saw in 2020. 2016, Hillary was shocked, about the popular vote, and meanwhile, Trump still finds a way to win. Yeah. And then in 2020, we saw the machines turn off. Look at what's going on in Wisconsin about how many people are registered to vote.
Our group of citizens, inherently don't trust our election systems to begin with, because this is the WEC website called Badge of Voters. And you can see that the total count of registrants on here is 7.1 million registrants. And it gets to the problem that we only have 4 million adults in the state of Wisconsin. So we're approaching, in the 7.13 million number on the voter rolls, that grows almost daily. It never ends. It rarely goes down. It drops slightly when they sent out the 4-year postcards, and then it shot right back up, and it's the highest that I've ever seen it. Okay, and it's even worse than this, because there's the 4 million adults in Wisconsin. Not all of them register, not all of them vote. We're really down around about 3.6 million, 3.7 million.
It's double the amount of registered voters when you really think about it. It's just these swing states are constantly rigged. They're attacked, and they're weaponized. And what do we say going into this administration with Trump? I think first and foremost, we need to clean elections. Then we need to clean house with the lifelong criminals.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll take a break. Come back right after this.
They got some good shooters.
Hey, listen, if you're in the chats and you're in the socials, it really helps when the network sees we get lots of likes and lots of participation. So if you didn't hit the like button, please do that for the sake of the network and Damon and the team here. We all appreciate it. So thanks for that. Almost 1,000 people over in Rumble. What do we got over?
Rumble.
What do we got over in YouTube's? We're over 1,000 there, so if you guys could pound those like buttons, it really, really helps. Thanks. We have any, do you got any, what do you call it?
Super chats? No.
No, any interviews coming up, or you do? Sarge, I don't know if you saw the show today, but it was fascinating. The J6 kids, Morrises were just fantastic. What bright, kind-hearted people. Yeah. Good stuff today.
They went through hell, those poor people. Tenders do.
And the goalies have looked super sharp from point blank.
And the shots are pretty even.
Hey, in the chats, I'd like to know, hit 1 if you're watching any of the NHL playoffs. 2 if not. I just don't know if we have. It seems like we have more hockey fans in this.
Oh, by far.
It does. Okay,
much bigger hockey audience.
And the NHL, the highest ratings they've ever had this year. Yeah. And I think it's probably the USA winning the Olympics.
Yeah,
and the kids
you
being
said
so
that,
American
and
and patriotic.
I think you're right about that. See, Herb Brooks' ring sold for $550,000 the other day. Herb Brooks
far,
Olympic gold medal ring.
All twos only. Oh, we got a one.
Yeah, you got a couple, but mostly you got a couple of you got the young lady there, Turbo 321 girl, Turbo Girl. She's a big Cavaliers fan, so she's going to put a one in there because she's an NBA girl.
Yeah, I'm. The only sport I'm watching anymore is hockey. I just have no interest. Anybody who takes a knee, all the LGBT stuff, all the social justice stuff. I can't look at it. I'm just fed up with it. Go pound sand. You want to do that Mediate article? Do you want to do this about Ken Paxton and Trump endorsing him? Because there's a couple clips here.
I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour. On a Wednesday night, so doing some sports. Coming up here in a second, Paul Nolan's going to do some more news for the end of the show. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Please welcome back to the show one of our good friends here on behalf of Tax Network USA. That's Cameron Kinsey. Cameron, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Very good, very good. Obviously, April has come and gone, but obviously, when it comes to your taxes, a lot of us are on extension till October, and there's still a lot of things to do. What should someone do right now if they know if they already know they're going to owe? Maybe they're on extension to get some other things in order. What should they do if they know they're going to owe?
Well, what you shouldn't do is panic. I think so many people call us, especially even after the deadline has passed and they've waited. They're too embarrassed to kind of say their financial situation. They don't really know what their resources are. And the truth is, guys, there's plenty of resources out there, but the IRS isn't going to do free advertisement for that. And that is why it's so important to have professionals in your corner like Tax Network USA who do this for a living. They know the tax code inside and out. They have former IRS agents, CPAs, licensed tax attorneys who really know what your options are and can get you set up properly.
Yeah. What does someone do if they file and they end up owing more than they expected?
Yeah, we get this question a lot, and I would say don't just set up the first payment plan that the IRS offers you without fully understanding it, because there are structured resolution options that are available, but you want to approach this as strategically as possible before those penalties and that interest start compounding. So really acting quickly in this situation just gives you that leverage and keeps that balance from spiraling.
So here's the most important thing, and we cover this a couple times, but I want to continue to cover it because there's always that question of people who say, well, I can't afford to pay this, so I'm not going to file it. And honestly, that's probably the worst thing you can do. So if people know that they can't pay it, the worst thing they can do is not file it, right? And you'd rather file and not pay it or figure out that part than not file it at all.
Exactly. You're right on the money. The IRS does have programs in place for people who genuinely can't afford to pay their full balance. That can look like installment agreements where you pay over time, currently not collectible status where those collections are temporarily paused, or in some cases offers in compromise where that debt can be reduced. But here's the key. None of these are automatic. They're based on your full financial picture, how your situation is presented to them. And that's why having these professionals matter, because one misstep, one missing document in this case can potentially cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars.
We're speaking with Cameron Kinsey. She's here on behalf of Tax Network USA. You can go to tnusa.com/RAV, tnusa.com/RAV, or you can call 1-800-905-8000, 1-800-905-8000 if you find yourself in any of these scenarios that we're talking about. One last one from me. For business owners who owe this year, how important is it for them, and how is it different for them, and how do they deal with you guys?
Yeah, obviously this is extremely serious, and this is where things can spiral the fastest for people because payroll taxes are not treated like normal tax debt. If those aren't paid, the IRS can hit these business owners with what's called the trust fund recovery penalty, which is 100% of the unpaid payroll taxes. So a lot of people don't realize that if they don't, that doesn't just stay with the business, it becomes personal. So that means the IRS can go after your personal bank accounts, your assets, even your future income. So it's not just just a business issue anymore. It becomes a personal financial risk very quickly. And again, that's why it's so important to get ahead of this. Don't let, this manageable amount that you think that you can handle in April spiral with these with this interest compounding daily. So again, just see what your options are. We are still upholding our free consultation for our RAV listeners listening tonight. You can talk to one of our team members directly. Again, like they noted as well, you can fill out a form. You can say that either Cam or them sent you. But again, just get ahead of it. Don't be too embarrassed. We've helped people save over $1 billion in back taxes. Truth is, we've probably seen a case just like yours. It's just so important. We help everyday Americans fight against this government overreach, and we want to keep your hard-earned money in your own pocket. So again, we're still upholding that free discovery call just to see what your case looks like. And again, that free consultation as well.
And it's 1-800-905-8000 is the number to call, 1-800-905-8000, or visit them online, tnusa.com/RAV, tnusa.com/RAV. Cameron Kinsey, always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, there she goes. Cameron Kinsey from Tax Network USA. Visit them online again one last time, tnusa.com/RAV, 1-800-905-8000. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, let's get to the NBA Western Conference Finals Game 2. More or less, I wouldn't say a must-win for OKC, but they got to win this one. They're going down 2-0. It's going to be a tough one. They lead right now 58-49 with about 2 minutes to go in the second quarter there in the first half. And Stephon Castle leads all scorers with 16 for San Antonio tonight. And NHL, we got a real good one. Goaltenders duel here. Just about midway second period. Golden Knights and Avalanche, no score. And that's a Western Conference Game 1 final. So good stuff over there. And speaking of the NHL, got a good story here. We were talking about, the layoff here with, the Hurricanes. And let me find this story. I got to find it. All right, bang. Okay, yeah. So Hurricanes had an 11-day layoff in the NHL, which is the first time since 1919 Stanley Cup playoffs that a team has had 11 days off. This is Greg Wyshynski of ESPN, Raleigh, North Carolina. It's been 107 years since an NHL team had a break between two playoff series, as long as the one the Carolina Hurricanes are experiencing. The Hurricanes' last game was on May 9th, which completed a second-round sweep of the Philadelphia Flyers. They then watched the Montreal Canadiens and Buffalo Sabres extend their series to 7 games, pushing the start of the Eastern Conference Finals to May 21st, tomorrow night. They're not even playing tonight. 11 full days since Carolina last played. That's the longest playoff since 1919, when, of all teams, Montreal had 12 full days off between series. So be interesting to see the rust off of Carolina there. But, I thought that was pretty darn wild, And NCAA moves to add a flag football championship. I like that, Dylan Gwynn. This flag football is getting a lot of traction. It's in the Olympics coming up this year. A key NCAA committee has endorsed making flag football.
Not a fan, Paul?
And I love playing it, but really?
Well, yeah. Well, the girls can play, so that's
next thing it'll be hide and seek.
We could see. If the measure passes the next voting hurdle, the first national championship could be held as soon as spring of 2028. The NCAA Committee on Access, Opportunity, and Impact formally voted on Tuesday to recommend including the sport at its spring meeting. That doesn't make flag football official yet. However, all athletic divisions 1, 2, and 3 would have to endorse the creation of a championship at each of their levels. The next major stop on the road, becoming a full-fledged collegiate sport, and will then, when proposal gets discussed, you never know. Listen, it includes the girls. The girls also are going to play. Okay. And that's a great opportunity. No, have you seen what's going on in high school now? They have these flag football, the girls teams. They're phenomenal. They're great athletes. I really enjoy it. I've watched it, and good stuff.
You're watching high school girls play flag football. Well, you're just going to get yourself on a predator list with that suit.
Come on.
Paul thinks it's going to be Duck, Duck, Goose is going to be the next NCAA championship league.
Musical, followed by musical chairs.
I'm not winning with this story, so I'm throwing the flag on you two, and I'm throwing in the towel on this.
All right, 38 past the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B's promo code to use. Paul Nolan, what's going on in Wisconsin?
Well, we talked about Wisconsin earlier, but I wanted to, if it's okay with you, can we shift gears? I wanted to talk about Republicans groaning about Trump's endorsement in the Texas race. He endorsed Ken Paxton, and he's obviously going against Cornyn, who we're not really great fans of, and they'll square off in a runoff next week. We know that the Attorney General's had a some scandals right in his back pocket. They said that might hurt him. I think he was involved with some donor issues. I know he also hired a woman who would some kind of a inappropriate relationship with one of his donors, Nate Paul. So we know that this is a huge Senate race, and we know that the Republicans are desperate to hold the upper chamber here in November. But, John Thune didn't like it. We have a clip of Thune. So if Thune doesn't like it, I like it.
Cut
well,
7,
I think
Aaron.
you all know my position on this issue. I've made it very clear for months now. And Senator Cornyn is a principled conservative. He is a very effective senator for the state of Texas.
This guy's
but none of us control what the president does. He made his decision about that. That doesn't change the way I feel. I am certainly supportive of, will continue to be supportive of Senator Cornyn and his reelection.
Only thing missing from that picture is old McConnell standing there. Because that's Thune, Barrasso, they're all still there. They just move Thune back and put McConnell there in front, and we're back to the good old days. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed now is McConnell is now gone and Thune has stepped up, but nothing else has changed in the way they think, the way they operate, and who they want to get behind.
I mean, he's doing his McConnell impersonation in a better suit. The whole thing is a joke. And if you didn't see this, Trump had his comment on the Paxton-Tallarico contest, if you will. It's cut 8.
Every one of them. And we have a great candidate, I believe, in Texas. And I believe the Texas candidate, who's Ken Paxton, I think he'll win. I think probably he'll win very substantially. And I think he'll go on to defeat a very defective candidate, a candidate that believes in 6 genders. And he takes hits at Jesus Christ. And he's wearing a mask 6 months ago. Anybody wearing a mask 6 months ago doesn't get it. And he's a vegan. He's a vegan in Texas. And you can't get elected as a vegan in Texas.
You cannot trust a vegan.
Yeah.
He's a vegan.
I mean, the idea that you hear people that Tallarico, he's polling. I mean, again, come on, stop. Nothing has been done yet. This guy has not even been framed. Not a dollar has been spent to frame who this guy really is. Stop.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, this disaster made it that far.
There's
shocking.
no chance this guy has a chance to win this race, Tallarico, against either one. Now, I will say this. The inside baseball reporting on this is that one of the things that Trump was looking at was the fact that if he had given his endorsement to Cornyn, that reporting said that maybe that wouldn't be enough to get him across the finish line. I don't believe that for even a second. Even with Cornyn being a disaster in Texas, the Tallarico could win. But I think one of the calculations that Trump used was the fact that even if I give Cornyn my endorsement, which of course he has obviously in years past, which is one of the reasons we were stuck with this loser, that may not get him across the finish line. And as we know, Trump is very particular about his endorsement record, making sure that who he endorses wins. So, and I think that was probably one of the final calculations. If he was going to give one out here, he wasn't going to give it to Cornyn, and then he ended up giving it to Paxton. And Paxton should absolutely win this race going away once we really dig into this race and this guy.
You want to watch Scott Jennings go to break with this? He's got a 40-second clip here. You okay with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
He has a good clip here.
What's the old song? You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Trump in a Republican primary. And that's what Thomas Massie has done by becoming his chief antagonist in the U.S. House. And this became really a referendum on, is Thomas Massie on the team or not? And Trump said he wasn't. The voters followed. The key vote that House leadership turned on him over was the big, beautiful bill. I mean, the working
House
families
leadership, but
tax
the president.
Credit. Well, but that's the president's domestic policy agenda, and you cannot become an apostate on 2 issues in a Republican primary: taxes and immigration. Massie voted against Trump's immigration security. He voted against Trump's tax cuts. So when you become a chief antagonist, when you're voting with the squad against Donald Trump's domestic policy agenda, it's not Epstein.
But that's
it's
because.
All right, 43 past the hour. We'll wrap it up. One more to go on a Wednesday. We're back right after this.
chat. MAGA superstar Brandon Gill gives full endorsement to Paxton. I got to tell you, I hope Brandon Gill just keeps going the way he's going. Boy, he is a tough guy. Really like the way he operates. And by the way, thanks for hitting the likes. We jacked them up there. Nice work. We got 261 over on YouTube. And what do we got over here? It says only 75 on Rumble. Let's see what we got. $137 over on Rumble. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. MST Craig, train kept it rolling. Come on. Oh, no.
Dave Syverson says Damon, Farmer Brook needs a Hail Mary.
Oh, really? Oh, these races going on, right?
Farmer Brook's in the chat. He says, and I thought we were buds. Is that meaning me? What's he talking about? Is Farmer Brook not doing well in his race?
We haven't.
Do we have to disown him and act like we don't know him?
Farmer Brook, what's going on?
We haven't checked in with him in a while.
He hasn't been in the chat too much. He's been busy with his campaign.
Well, he's running a campaign, but we hope it's not a loser campaign. He's got to win, right?
Yeah.
He needs to.
Do we need to go out there?
Where is he? Arizona?
We should. Arizona.
Yeah. Arizona's up. There's been a lot of threats and stuff, right? With the city, there was some terroristic threats. I had heard something like that on Fox.
Really?
Yeah.
Dave says yes, but I can't follow what anyone's saying here. Where's Farmer? Can you please? Okay. Yep. Busy, but no way I'm going to win, fellas.
What?
Come on.
Farmer Brook, what's going on?
You campaigned on the show. What do you mean you're not going to win?
I thought we were big in Chandler.
This is problematic.
So big time.
Who's going to win? And how do you know this?
It's not good.
Now he says, no, I meant to say I am going to win.
Oh.
Well, what? I mean, we can't have someone win who can't tell us what he means. Can't type properly. And we already got that guy in Kentucky now who can barely speak.
But Trump likes his endorsement record, so do we. We have never lost an endorsement we've made.
I mean, we can't lose Farmer Brook's race.
No.
Now, if Farmer Brook said there's no way I'm going to win, then 5 minutes later he says, no, I meant to say there's no way I'm not going to win. So I have no idea what he's talking about.
Speaking in riddles.
Who's on first?
I mean, we can't elect somebody who can't clearly. Well, I guess we can. We do it all the time. Do you need Slick to be your communications manager for the last home stretch?
Let's go
in Arizona.
I'll
fly out
Farmer
there.
Brook, wherever you are, please blink twice if you need Slick to come out there.
Yep.
The Big Dog 13 says, "Don't be a rhino, Damon." I don't know what that has to do with anything.
No, what is
right
that?
now, but. Nancy Burns says he mistyped.
Word.
And he needs more cash, Dave Syverson says.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. Farmer Brook says, I'd never deny Slick's help. So, Slick, to me, that's a call for help. So can you get out to Arizona?
When?
Well, tonight. We'll get you on a red eye.
No red eyes tonight. Come on.
Wait, Fran's going to Arizona.
Oh, Fran's going.
Oh, Fran's going to Arizona.
Like next week.
Yeah, like a week from now, I'll be there.
I'm sure we can count on your endorsement.
All right, so Fran, can you plan on being at least the week that you're there?
Fran's
Farmer
taking
Brook's
time off.
Person.
I can see what I could do, but I can't make any promises.
Whoa, look at Fran.
There'll be free bourbon
I'm gonna be
and burgers.
very much in the desert and away from people. So.
That does not sound like the communication manager that you want to hire. Okay, what's our first? Hey, boss, what do we do first? Get away from people.
Go to the cacti.
That'll fly real well.
I don't think that's going to work. So
gravy.
I think we all have to go to Arizona and campaign.
You gotta like meditate in Sedona.
We could do a show there.
We should do a show in Arizona and bring on Farmer Brook, and it'll be a campaign event.
Well, this is just
that
his
he
local.
needs to fund.
This is not like a national. I mean, it's his local race, right? We have to go to where he's at, not just to Arizona.
Yeah, well, he's in Arizona.
What's his town? What's it called? The
Payson.
Payson. Where's that, by Scottsdale?
He's going to be pacing back and forth when we get there.
Pacing back and forth is right.
That's what he's going to be doing if we go. So, all right, let's get
the
there,
show
everybody.
on his farm.
Huh?
We could do the show on his farm.
We could get the vote out for him. You know that? If we went there, we could.
We could.
Yeah.
Well, we took a song from number 42 to number 1 overnight, so I think we could probably help him win the race. But
we could do anything.
I don't think he needs the help. I think he just doesn't know how to.
We should offer our help anyway.
I think I'm correct on that, but I don't know. Let's see what
Aaron
he
wants
says.
a trip to Arizona, Big D. What do you say?
Yes, I do.
Dave Syverson says, yes, he needs votes and cash. Well, I need votes and cash, too, but I'm not running for anything. So, all right, well, we'll see. If Farmer needs us, he knows we'll be there for him. Well, let me rephrase that. All of these guys will be there for him to go to Arizona.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to go to Arizona?
I'll be...
He's not a rhino. He's just a no-no.
All right, let's do sports one last time. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, here we go. NHL Golden Knights have woken up. How do you like that? 2-0, Paul. We got a 5-hole and a high one in the toilet department. So they're 2-zip, 2:40 to go there in the second period. Game 1, so don't get rid of Colorado. They're a good team. They're the top team in the league. But, boy, Golden Knights looking good all of a sudden. And at the half, Big D, Thunder right now, 62-51 over the Spurs. Thunder in a must-win game tonight. This is West Conference Finals, Game 2. San Antonio right now leading that series 1-0. So you really got to get it together there. And a couple of Major League Baseball scores. Yankees and Blue Jays have gotten underway. I guess the Storms have passed the Bronx, and in the middle of the third, no score there. Red Sox over the Royals 4-3, top of the 8th. Brewers right now blanking the Cubs 5-zip, top 9 there. End of 6. Pirates continue to blank the Cards in St. Louis 3-zip there. Dodgers 2-0 over the Padres, top of the 5th. Mid-first, Athletics blanking the Angels 2-zip, and I gave you the final scores a little bit earlier. And the numbers are in, Big D, from the Ronda Rousey fight the other night. Guess how many people tuned in to that
11.
match?
I'm going to say 7 million.
MVP says 12.4 million watched Ronda Rousey headline MMA card.
I don't know about that.
Brett Akamoto. Well, you don't believe Jake Paul? He seems like a straight-up guy. Now, the first event in MMA for Jake Paul's most valuable promotions drew 12.4 million viewers on Netflix, according to MVP officials. Well, I mean, you can't trust that for sure. Saturday's triple headliner in L.A., which culminated in Ronda Rousey's 17-second armbar, it's more like a blowout of Gina Carano, peaked at almost 17 million when that fight went on, Big D. 17 million folks were tuned in. MVP released the viewership numbers on Tuesday. In a statement credited to Paul and MVP CEO Nakisia Badarian, the company reiterated its commitment to promoting more MMA events in the future. So they went on to talk about, they're lauding about how great they did. But almost 12.5 million, Big D. That's a big audience. But you're not buying that, huh?
Well, I guess Netflix has how many users, so it's built in. So, yeah, I guess it could be that. I mean...
Yeah, and Netflix, you pay $22 a month. A lot of these MMA. What is the average fight with the UFC? What do they usually charge?
Like $79.
It's a lot harder to get 12 million people.
But that was those days are gone now. Now, if you have Paramount Plus, you get them all for free.
Oh, okay. All right. So there you go.
Yeah, they did the deal with Paramount Plus. So now you don't pay for anything other than Paramount Plus.
It's growing on me. I've always been a boxing purist. I love that boxing, but I'm really starting to enjoy the MMA action-packed stuff. The referee stays out of the way.
The best.
It's
growing up on boxing. I think Artie Lang's take on it was as hysterical as it gets. He goes, "I'm not into the MMA. I'm a boxing purist." To me, I watch MMA and it's like two gay guys are wrestling in their underpants, and then one guy on the bottom realizes he ain't gay. I love it, man, because to me, it's the greatest athletes in the world. I mean, the training, I think it's better than boxing, because boxing died. When there was so much politics. To me, I like how these guys face almost every challenge. Yep. Very little ducking goes on, and there's never a doubt on really who's the better fighter.
True, absolutely. That's a wrap, Big D.
All right, Slickster. 6 minutes till the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Paul Nolan's going to take us home. What's left in the news, Paul?
Well, Jeff Bezos who thought it, who had this on their bingo card, was on board with, the right wing. Or so. Listen, he chimes in on the public schools in New York. I think he makes a pretty good comparison here. Cut 11.
I don't pay taxes. That's true. I pay billions of dollars in taxes. And it's a perfect, again, if people want me to pay more billions, then let's have that debate. But don't pretend, that's going to solve the problem. You could double the taxes I pay, and it's not going to help that teacher in Queens. I promise you. So you can't connect those two things, not logically. There are more examples. Why is rent expensive? Why is rent so expensive? I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention.
Yep.
You hear Andrew there, jumping in because he doesn't like these answers from who he thinks Bezos is supposed to be, which is some, some socialist answers. But Bezos understands the free markets and these things better than most. And he understands that it's just the idea of these guys not paying their fair share is absurd.
And if he goes on to say, we don't have enough time, but he really makes a great comparison to New York City schools to Amazon. And if Amazon was running, if the schools were running Amazon, he said we'd have to charge $100 a package. You get the wrong product, and it would take you 13 weeks to get what you're looking for.
As always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you. Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night. Back here on a Thursday, live from Studio 6B.
When you look at your grocery bill, is it so high it knocks you off your feet? It's time to stand up and save with InstaSeal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. Unlike ordinary storage bags that trap air in, spoiling your food, InstaSeal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Look, flat sealers create a big mess, but InstaSeal is upright, mess-free, and easy. The secret is Smart Seal technology. With just one touch, it auto-feeds the bag to seal, pauses to vacuum out the air, then continues to perfectly seal. Plus, InstaSeal has a motor powerful enough to crush cans, but smart enough to save crackers from turning to dust. Forget big, bulky sealers you have to put away.